Hello and welcome. I'm Darren. Today we are in Forza Motorsport. Now, this is something that I didn't think would happen because I'm actually on the sim rig, on the wheel, on the pedals, and I've actually got it to feel quite good. Now, there is some issues. It's not great, but to be fair, it's not bad, and it's our level. I'm actually enjoying the game, and I'm actually having quite a bit of fun. I did some recordings last night, and I've made some videos, and then loads of stuff was going on. I'm not going to bother uploading those ones because halfway through one of them, I was like, right, what the hell is going on? And it kind of, I probably said a lot of swear words and got quite angry. And what I've realised is, and this is like a straight, there's some quite actual fun to be had now in this game, and I want there to be because I grew up on Gran Turismo and Forza. I had a PlayStation just to play Gran Turismo, and I had an Xbox just to play Forza. Loved both games, rivalry and all that sort of stuff. Don't care. I just enjoyed both games for what both games offered. So I want to enjoy this game, but I didn't. So when I obviously got this game, I'd already started properly like into sim racing games with wheel, with pedal, in a sim rig, and this game just did not feel good from what I was feeling already in other games. And admittedly, I'd kind of got very much down the road into ACC and GT3 car racing, and I was set up for how I liked the game to feel, and coming to another game is always awkward because if it doesn't feel like what you're used to and what you've decided that you started to like, instantly you just get a bad head for it, and I just got a bad head for this game. There is still issues with it. We'll go through those as I'm driving because there's stuff which I'm kind of surprised. I don't know. I'd have to go back to the early Forza games, and I don't think it was this bad. I honestly don't, but maybe it was. But the one thing that I realised last night mid-video is I was racing yesterday, not in this car, in a different car. A BMW that I'd built and I'd done a bit of tuning to, and it was a bit like track day built car, and it felt really good. And I was quite surprised at the force feedback I'd managed to get out of it. I then decided to have a quick go in a GT3 car, and as soon as I loaded that car and got into that car, I lost all feeling and everything within the wheelbase. It's as if someone had literally turned my wheelbase off, and I'm using a Moser R16, so it's quite a high Newton meter base. Now, with the BMW that I was driving, I had the I'll go into the settings to show you exactly what I'm kind of getting at. So when I was driving in my random BMW tuned vehicle, I had basically what would be the wheelbase torque. So where is it? Which one is it? There's so many in here, it's really annoying. So the 4 scale. Now I had this at around about 60 something percent, 68% or something, I think it was. Which obviously 16 Newton meter wheel, 100% in the software, 60% in game is probably about right for a lot of games, and it felt right. I had a good force, I had a good feeling of grip and loss and everything. It felt pretty good. It wasn't perfect, and I'm sure there's adjustments that I need to make, but it felt, for the best part, pretty good. As soon as I got into the GT3 car, it felt so light that I could rotate the wheel with my little finger. And it's as if like someone's turned my wheelbase off. There's no force feedback coming through. And I had to throw this force feedback scale up to something like 90 or 95% to start getting force feedback, which is, that makes no sense. That's literally saying that I need to take the force feedback to get any type of weight to the wheel, or, you know, obviously when you talk, you're talking about obviously the power that the wheel's trying to return at you, which you're trying to fight back. I shouldn't have to have it at that on a 16 Newton meter wheel, and it didn't make sense in the other car. It was set up perfect. There was a really good weight to it, at 60%. So I don't know what I mean. It's now I know that obviously most of the settings are probably close to there or thereabouts, and every time I change car, I'm going to have to come into here and change the force feedback scale to something that actually makes it feel kind of drivable. So I've had to op it in this one to get all the feelings to come back and to get like at least some sense of weight to come back. Now this car I'd imagine wouldn't feel that weighty. You know, most cars nowadays power steering and all the rest of it. So I've got it set up to what feels like it would trick my brain to make me thinking that I'm driving this car. But other than that, the rest of the settings that I've got feel quite good. I was just in some random races with this car, and I'm not shifting properly because I'm talking, which is handy. But obviously this is track that just got updated on the game that happened to load up, so I thought, hey, I'll do a recording so people can see the new track if they haven't already. I'm sure they have if they're interested in that type of thing, because there'll be loads of content already up about it. But so I've been doing some races in it this morning and it feels quite good. I can now have, I'm not going to get it on this track because this track is all over the place, but on your general racing track I now have a pretty good feeling of grip, loss of grip. I get a feeling of kind of weight shift of the car, you know, leaning over into corners. It feels pretty good. I'm actually surprised. I didn't think I was going to get, from the start of this game and coming back to it a few times, I thought I'll only ever play this game on controller, which is something that I'm not really that interested in playing, obviously, racing games on controller anymore, because I have the sim rig and there's just games that I can play in the sim rig to enjoy. So racing on controller nowadays is not something that I'm particularly interested in doing. So with that said, that kind of meant that this game was probably dead to me, but I raced a couple of hours in it. No, in fact, I raced about 4 or 5 hours in it last night, to the point of I hadn't had my tea and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realise like that had just happened. So I kind of got pretty lost in it last night and was pretty much enjoying myself, which is good, because the more racing games that are fun to play, the better. And to be fair, I was kind of... See, pretty much what had happened is I'd been playing a bit of AC Evo, they'd done the update. Nothing in there really kind of... Like, that game, I'm sure I have no problem with at some point within the future will be good. Why they kind of launched it in that state, I don't particularly think they should have, if I'm being honest. I think they've kind of destroyed the fundamental of how that game was supposed to be played with an early update. It doesn't kind of make sense to me. I thought the whole free roam aspect, buy a car, do your free roam, rent cars to race on the Nürburgring and all that sort of stuff was kind of how you'd want to approach that game from launch as startup. So launching it how it is, and to be fair, the fact that it was supposed to launch, I don't know when it was it like October last year, and obviously it got put back. I'm not fucking surprised if that's as far as what they've got with it. It seems all a little bit strange to me, but anyway, it is what it is. I bought it, I have no problem with it, it's just I don't think I'm going to really be doing anything on it until it gets some kind of major update. As far as this goes, I'm enjoying the whole break away from a GT3 car for a minute and play around in some road cars. And like I said, a couple of the road cars that I've been in now feel quite good. The BMW that I'm driving, which I believe is the same as that one in front, which is quite well set up, you know, like a track day trim, full race suspension and roll cage and all that sort of stuff, feels really good. This car's just standard, but I think it feels relatively like I'd expect it to feel. I do have traction control and stability control on, which is obviously stopping it from lighting up the rears on just about every corner. But it will still go if I, you know, take the piss. So, and it has that kind of factory suspension, a bit wallowy feeling. Feels quite good. What I will say on this game is the AI are still some of the worst AI I've come across, and I've come across some bad AI in driving, but I'm not kind of sure what Forza were thinking with that, and I don't know if it's something that's happened in their earlier games. I don't really remember it now. I haven't obviously raced a Forza game for quite a long time, but not so much in this scenario. Obviously, we've broken away from a pack, so it's not really happening, but I'm finding on a lot of the track courses, there's some kind of thing going on in this game where you're just going lap after lap with cars that are like either 2 or 3 abreast. It makes no sense. That doesn't happen in racing. There's not 2 racing lines around a fucking track, and there's certainly not 3. And it kind of makes it kind of awkward to do any type of overtaking when you've got a car online and then you've already got a car parked offline that they just seem to be in some sort of pre-fixed route that they just can't shift away from. It's like they, effectively they should try to either A, overtake, or if not, fall back into like the racing line. They shouldn't just be driving lap after lap 2 abreast around a track. It makes no sense to racing whatsoever, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's not a huge deal. I mean, I'm playing this game for like a bit more enjoyment. It's not like I'm just racing AI. It's not like a competitive thing or anything like that. It's just a strange decision because it doesn't make sense to racing whatsoever. I'd rather see them attempt to overtake or fall back into a racing line rather than just well, obviously when we get to the end of this, I've kind of got the game setting up random tracks at the moment. I don't even know if I really want to do 2 laps of it. I mean, track looks kind of quite cool, but it's not. I don't know. I'm kind of used to circuit racing now. This track is just, although extremely good looking, I don't think this is particularly fun to drive, or I don't find it fun to drive, put it that way. It's just kind of off camber corner after off camber corner after off camber corner. And I don't actually know it, which means I can't really push it because I'm relying on the car in front to tell me where I need to brake. But it feels very good. Like I just completely scrubbed my front tyres out there and I got a lot of information back telling me that that was exactly what was going to happen. This guy's, I don't know, is he just staring in his rear view too much? Because the rest of the pack that were gone, of course, up. And that's another thing that I find. Sometimes the AI just park. Like, literally just... It's like the one in front has decided, or has had like some sort of malfunction where he's not going to change gear. And the entire pack just sit in formation behind. Just like for an entire lap, just not overtaking. It's like they're programmed to be in a specific formation and malfunction when something goes wrong. So it's all a bit of a shame, really. But the track does look very good. Visuals in this game are kind of hit and take. We are running at the moment at effectively 4K ultra wide, so 5160 by 2160. I don't have a 5160 by 2160 monitor. I'm using virtual super resolution on a 3440 by 1440p, but it looks kind of okay. I'm kind of having issues with the calibration setting in the menu, which makes all the colours either too bright or too dark and all washed out and blown out, which is kind of quite annoying. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, so I might have to manually adjust somehow the brightness level. Oh, we're done. Thank God for that. I was scared there was going to be another lap. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Feels good, but needs kind of... You would have thought that they'd have a baseline set, and then every car that you get into should have its individual profile from the baseline. I shouldn't have to adjust the baseline to make every car feel how I... Do you know what I mean? It's like... And certainly not going up to the GT3 cars. That didn't make... Like, to have that incredibly... Turn your steering wheel with your little finger when you're literally running at what should be 16 Newton meters. No way. Absolutely no way. And for anyone that doesn't know about wheelbases, that thinks 16... You know, like, obviously, I work on vehicles, so I torque things up, and 16 Newton meters to me is like nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's feather light. Like, you just screw up at 16 Newton meters. So when it came to wheelbases, I thought, right, so a wheelbase is like 10 Newton meters. That's pathetic. That's not going to... No, 10 Newton meters on a wheelbase is actually quite a lot of force. 16 Newton meters is a good amount of force. You're not running any game... Most games you're running at around about 60%, and that is giving you a pretty good fight. It's quite a lot of force. So what this game's doing, making me put it up to almost 100% in the GT3 cars to get any type of weight to the steering wheel, any type of torque to it, any type of force feedback to it, that doesn't make sense. Right, we'll go with this. I don't know what this track is, but we're going to run it. Oh, it looks like a long one again. It does like a mixture of short versions and long versions, and it seems to be wanting to go for the long versions at the moment, which is fine. I don't know this track again. It's been a long time. I never really ended up... Oh. It's clearly a Formula 1 circuit then. So effectively, I'm going to be following the other cars. I've got the AI at the moment on 100%. Everything is as high as it can be with full damage and tyre wear and everything. So AI at 100%, certainly on a game that I don't know and a track that I don't know, I would expect them to just disappear off into the distance and me struggle to stay on the back of them, but that isn't the case. Probably is with the lead car. He seems to be the only one that kind of has any idea what he's doing. The rest of them just go around in their 2x2 formation for the rest of the game, which is really odd to me. I can kind of get it at the start of the race. I understand that because everyone's fighting for a position as such. No radar is a bit of a nightmare as well, because when you're playing any type of cockpit cam or something like that, you are limited clearly to what you can see. So that car down the side of me with no radar, I can just about see its rear wing in my mirror, but it's hard to tell that it's obviously there. Oh shit. I might have caused a little bit of a crash there.
Time penalty is 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, well. It's not my fault. If you actually went into a racing line. But as you can see, there is no racing line. They'd still stay 2 abreast. Or 3 abreast. Or... shit. I don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully a track comes up that I actually know the track. That would be handy. Oh. The Cayenne just dived through. I'm impressed with that guy's driving. This feels good. This feels like this, what you kind of, well, are we only on 1 lap? That's interesting. Or is it just doing 1 lap on the big courses? So what I want from, obviously the feeling that I want from a sim game is, I want to be sat in here, focused on the screen, tricked into feeling like I am actually behind the wheel of the car that I'm behind. And at the moment in this kind of Nissan standard trim, that's kind of, it's giving me pretty much oh god, I'm not going to do an oval, come on. Oh, give me another oval, that's way too long. Road America, probably should have done that, shouldn't I? Maple Valley, I haven't done Maple Valley for years. Can we do one that I know? Oh god, I don't think we can. Catalonia, that's a short one. I don't know that. Watkins Glen. Nah. Yeah, we could do Watkins Glen, I suppose. Why not? I don't find it the most interesting track to drive, but hey, we'll do it anyway. But yeah, I want to feel tricked into feeling like I'm possibly driving that car, and this now gives me, however I've got this set up, does kind of give me that sense of feeling. So that's good. And like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's actually nice to have a bit of a break from, you know, an ACC just constantly driving GT3 cars, the same car. That game is kind of like, to me it's a bit more hardcore. I want to drive the same car. I want to practice in the same car. You don't want to keep changing vehicles and learning new vehicles, because you just want to get better and be more competitive against the people that you're racing online. So this game to me was going to be a... oh, I was scrubbing the front tyres out, no grip there. This game to me was going to be a kind of release of that and just get into some kind of, you know, slower cars. Something a bit more interesting in a certain way. It's kind of doing that. Here we are, 2 abreast again. Oh, we got a bit squirmy under braking then. which was good. I wanted it to feel like that. Can we push past this? No, we can't, really. Everyone's driving kind of a little bit conservative. And I'm way too close to other cars to be able to anticipate braking. So you've got no choice. If you want to get past people, you've got to go 3 abreast. It's dumb. I'm sorry, Forza, but this is fucking dumb. I'm caught on that car. I couldn't turn because he's got me caught with his super glue. I can't see the one down inside me, but I believe there is one down inside me because there's no radar. It's just there is some kind of glaring fundamental issues that, unless there is, maybe there is a radar that you have to turn on. Now I'm completely offline. I don't know if that car was blind in my blind spot. I don't know if I'd already passed it. Hey, because I can't see. Oh, we're doing 1 lap in every race. I thought it was on 2 laps. So, yes, the cars feel fun to drive. The racing itself, I've had some fun races in it, but I wish that they'd actually improve the AI to act like, from what I'm concerned, would actually be. Can we just do like a brands? Oh, we can do a brands hatch short. Why is it only on 1 lap? I'm gonna have to quick do. Brands hatch short is actually quite fun, but I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna do it. It's just gonna be 2 abreast the entire race. So that was the BMW that I was driving. It's not tuned. Like, the engine's not tuned. I think it's pretty much standard engine. It's just got race suspension and roll cage and all that stuff. So it's lightened and whatever, and it feels really good to drive. Really good force feedback from it. This thing I just bought because I wanted to try and get sorted out. Let's quick do. What are you doing? Quite sure what the game decided to do then. Let's do a quick brands hatch. Let's do a Indy circuit. Let's not quite do 7 laps. Let's do 5 laps. Let's actually see if they even at any point... I think they do fall into line. It just takes them such a long time to do it. Like I said, you're going to get... You watch any type of motor racing, Formula 1 or anything, obviously you start 2 abreast. And the cars do stay like that while they're initially fighting for a position, but then they drop onto the racing line because you can't just carry on driving. You know, there is a fastest line around a racetrack. There isn't 2 fastest lines around the racetrack. You can't just drive offline the whole time. So effectively, they'll fall into line, whereas on this, they might do. It just takes them a long time to do it. And to be fair, the only reason I think that they might do is if I if I stayed at the back. I don't know if they do at the back. I don't know if they just stay 2 abreast the entire time. At the front, they drop into line because they kind of stretch themselves out with a further distance away from each other. Oh, no front grip. Pink Porsche with purple wheels. Interesting choice. Oh, and he's heavy on the brakes. He's heavier than what I anticipated. but the chances of getting past them are very slim because they've blocked the entire track. There's a little gap here, which means collision. There's no way around it. Because they will drive into you because they haven't anticipated that you might be there. I can't get around the outside, he's blocked that off. We're now 3 abreast. There's nothing you can do. Oh my word. Is there a car alongside me? Possibly. I don't... Yes, there was a car alongside me. I'd have no idea. It was just... trying to remember what was there. Right, we found a gap. Let's go. Let's go. Oh shit. Second wasn't the gear I was after. Oh, we are on the absolute edge. See, that's perfect. I could feel the absolute edge of grip. And again. And I can just push it past it by giving it a little bit of throttle and then feel it slip out. So... that I like. That I like a lot. I didn't think I was ever going to get that in this game because beforehand, whatever settings it was on, you had some sort of ridiculous feeling of like a cliff drop off, like grip, no grip, and nothing in between. No kind of gradual, you know, slide or scrub or anything. Just literally, it would like almost as if it would put torque onto your wheel and then turn your wheel off to simulate, right, now you've got no grip. Like, we've turned your wheelbase off, pulled the plug on it, you've now got nothing, you're just, oh shit. And it's that easy to overdrive it, but I felt, as you could tell by the way I went, oh shit, exactly, it gave me back everything I knew to tell me, yeah, you just fucked up, Darren. And it's got quite a good, like if you dip a tyre off the track, it's got quite a good reaction recovery. See, like, I know I'm fully four-wheel drifting around there. I know I'm on the exact edge of grip there. To where if I push it a little bit more, it's going to start scrubbing. So, I'm really happy with that. I didn't think that was going to happen. Scrubbing. Made a mess of that, but to be fair, it was good fun. Like, I'd happily be like, okay, I can race this over and over again and have fun. So, and that's purely down to the fact that I've got some feeling in. I've got the detail that I want. I've got the information that I want that I didn't think I was going to get from this game. It's not brilliant. I'm not going to say, oh my god, this is now has the best force feedback ever. Absolutely not. But it's got better force feedback than what I thought I was going to get out of it. And that's good. that's got me in a good place. I can actually now play Forza Motorsport, so I'm happy with that, and I can actually enjoy it. And to be fair, I'll probably end up playing this tonight now. It's quite nice to have a break from ACC, and to be fair, trying to drive other games, like I'm not gonna. I know for a fact, 'cause I tried it last night. If I try GT3 cars in this, I do not like them. I'd rather race it in ACC. Le Mans Ultimate, kind of the same. The GT3 cars in there are probably the closest to me as to what I like in ACC. They still don't feel quite right to me. Maybe that's something that I can adjust myself by doing a few tweaks. I don't know. But it's kind of, for me, at this moment in time, I'm like, right, I will just race GT3 in ACC. In Le Mans Ultimate, I'll race like the hypercars or the LMP cars, and that feels good in those. For this kind of like being able to mess around with cars and tune them and have good fun in, this could work for me. And then Automobilista 2, that's kind of the same. GT3 cars in that are okay again, but I still prefer ACC in that. But Automobilista 2, there's some real fun to have in some of like the old school cars and the Caterhams and stuff. And to be fair, I quite like the Formula 1 in that. I've not tried a Formula 1 game, but I like the Formula 1 cars in Automobilista 2. They feel really good. So there can be stuff to be found in games. I think it's just trying not to use the same, when you try racing the exact same type of cars in each game, they're going to feel different, and it can kind of put you off. But I'm happy with where I'm at now. So, all good. If you enjoyed, if you watched this long, I appreciate it. Give me a like if you don't mind. I'd appreciate that too. And I'll catch you in the next one.